former deputy governor at the Bank of Canada. Paul, thanks very much indeed for joining us. I'm looking at an op-ed you co-authored in February in the Globe and Mail. And one of your arguments here is that these tariffs are a revenue-raising measure. It's a tax grab because Trump would like to go ahead with prolonging or keeping with massive tax cuts he pushed through previously. So America wants to raise hundreds of billions of dollars in revenue here?
Yes, that's one of the sources of where, the idea of these tariffs. One of the things is by putting these tariffs on goods both from Canada and from other countries, whether it be China or Mexico or the EU, that's giving revenue to the U.S. And there really needs to be extra revenue to pass through these tax cuts, which is really central to the platform and the policy that the Trump administration wants to push. And so these are not the type of tariff, the amount of money you can make on these tariffs are not of the size that, are going to reduce all taxes or things, but it really could help kind of put through these tax cuts or these prolonged cuts that he wants relative to what he had before he put in 2017.
So very roughly, prolonging these tax cuts, the Congressional Budget Office thinks it would add $460 billion US to the federal deficit over 10 years. And then you're looking at these tariffs, and of course, it's a moving target. And you said in February, just Canada and China, they could raise $320 billion. And if we bring in Europe, that could be another $186 billion. So we are talking serious money from these import levies.
Definitely talking serious money. Again, we were taking those as kind of like no change in the quantities. And so those are maybe a little bit on the high end, but giving a bit of a ballpark type of number. And we really wanted to say, these are really kind of serious money. They're serious money relative to what the Trump administration wants to put through in terms of having these extended tax cuts.
Now, you said, of course, it remained to be seen whether Europe and Canada would hit back, and they are. So does that change the equation here in terms of the economic benefit for America?
Oh, definitely it changes for the benefit for America. This kind of starts costing also Americans on the flip side. As we, we'll adjust, there's these different goods from the U.S. Once we put tariffs on them, we tend to kind of buy less of them. Then you get in all the issues of the different sectors that kind of have a reduction in demand. Now, we have to always put that in perspective. Canada is much smaller than the U.S., so when we put tariffs, it doesn't hurt them the same way. But there's some areas in particular it really hurts, and that's kind of why the tariffs are being targeted to really make it that certain areas do feel it in the U.S. so that hopefully they can put pressure and say, we don't like these things.
I know this is a trite point. Of course, that never stopped me before. But if we're talking about dollar-for-dollar tariffs, the per capita impact of this darn thing is much bigger for Canada because our population is, only about an eighth of theirs.
No, exactly. You're exactly right. This is not the same size. That's why this whole tariff war is just a huge issue for Canada. For a lot in the U.S., this is kind of a secondary issue. There's a lot going on in the U.S. This is not the only thing. Tariffs is one piece in the overall puzzle. So it does hurt them. But you have to remember, this is, it's us, but it's also a lot of others that are putting the same same type of things into place. China's retaliating. Europe is talking about it. Mexico is talking about it. So we have it as the whole group kind of starts putting in tariffs on U.S. goods. Then the U.S. starts feeling it. Canada by itself, it does hurt the U.S., but we are much smaller than them.
So we are hitting back. And famously, of course, the middle class, how will they be impacted in America, the great American public, the silent majority, I think, is that what Nixon called them? How are they likely to be affected here?
Well, again, it's a whole set of tariffs, and so they'll be affected. There's different. So again, here we're having two parts to this aspect. For the goods that we sell to the U.S., when you put on these tariffs, a lot of things are going to be becoming more expensive. Some of them are going to take some time. Like when we think about the steel and the aluminum type tariffs, they go into the production of a lot of things like cars. and then you get, cars being more expensive as the price of aluminum and steel goes up, and therefore the American consumer starts feeling that. Some things are more direct, things that we're selling, directly to consumers, then that would go up, very quickly. And so consumers might feel it in the short run, but more over kind of the next little while. The other way they feel it is when we put the tariffs on the U.S. goods, this reduces the demand for them, so that you get more unemployment in certain sectors in the U.S., kind of people losing their job. That's a very different way of feeling it. And that's the two different ways that they feel the effects of this tariff war.
Mr. Trump's current term, runs 4 years, and in theory, of course, he can't have a third one, although he's apparently amused about that. But in any case, do you think business and industry really will change its long-term investment plans because this fellow might be out of the White House in 4 years' time?
Yeah, so it's really put a new uncertainty, and this is where we're seeing Canada kind of discuss the needed changes so that we depend less on the U.S. going forward. And all this discussion we're having, it's been for a long time, of thinking about reducing interprovincial trade barriers. You want to have more trade within Canada, more helping of kind of diversifying trade with other countries. So I do think Canada is really learning a lesson here that it's very costly. Now, again, Trump might only be in for 4 years. You don't know if the follower Trump will be the same type of aspect. So yes, I do think we want to change certain kind of ways of doing things. But at the same time, it doesn't mean it's a permanent aspect. We could have a change coming back in 4 years, like you say, with someone that would be much more open to a kind of back to free trade with Canada.
Paul, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
My pleasure.
Paul Beaudry, former